Anyway.
Okay, let's go ahead and start our, it is January the 9th, 2023, the time is now 4:42 p.m. City Council special meeting will now.
Recording in progress.
Knock in order, could you please get a roll call, please?
Devona.
Here.
Griego. Here. Ogletree. Here. Shu.
Here.
Thurman.
Here.
Williamson.
Present.
Rico.
Here. Does that mean you're here or not here?
Presently here.
If you watch the things of last week, everything in the president was forget that.
Yeah.
Look at that go. I know, look at that go. Okay, item 1. Our special meeting is consideration of purchase of a used articulated off-road dump truck for the landfill. Mr. Jest, I saw the picture of the unit that you are
Mr. Mayor, member of council,
wanting to purchase.
as Mr. Ruger alluded to earlier, $149,500. It's a used truck, but it has fairly low hours for, we looked at some trucks that had 15 to 20,000 hours. This has 4,500 hours roughly. Sent Mr. Rico King and Buck Apple down this, they ran a computer check on it. The truck is in great shape, so their side observation was a recommendation that we would probably be a sound investment, but you don't know when you buy used, so. But it is considerably savings. That truck probably, this particular truck is probably closer to 550 because this is a 40-tonner. So anyway, for that environment out there, that's what we need. We were running a regular tandem dump truck, breaking springs on it. It's just really rough out there, and this is the type of truck that's used for that type of. We can haul not only cover dirt, we can haul mulch, we can haul tire chips, shreds. So it'll be used for lots of things.
Questions?
Those articulated trucks, they have hydraulic pivot points between the cab and the hauler, allowing for more independency, like
For what we do.
which a regular dump truck really can't do.
Yeah.
But how many tight spots, flexible areas?
We have a lot of area out there.
Yeah.
But the tires on this truck are the same size as our John Deere loader. They're big. They can accommodate nails and not go flat as easily. I mean, we can't stick rebar or stuff, but a lot of nails and things like that don't hurt it. So that's a nice thing. We were constantly on our blue dump truck, we'd fill it up. It'd take 20 or 30 minutes a day to fill up the tires because we just had so many nails in them, you know. So there'll be a little bit of time savings there.
Are we buying this from a private individual or
A private company, yes.
any warranty at all?
No, nothing on used equipment.
I didn't think so.
Good question.
This is good.
Other questions?
So, obviously, I'm sure you guys have done as much due diligence as you can, and I'm not in any way questioning that, but a lot of times, you know, the expression is if something's too good to be true, it probably is.
I think Mr. Ruger asked that question.
And it seems to me, when you look across the row here, that's too good to be true, and there has to be some reason. I mean, is it in a fleet and they change fleets? So I'm not asking for answers to that question, but
The backstory behind that.
I will share with you what I know, Mr. Williamson. My understanding it's coming off of a large ranch in Oklahoma. Buck told me that I guess they, for tax reasons, they run a piece of equipment for so many years and then they release it. So that was, because they asked the same question. When they ran the computer check on it, it showed that it had one dump, less than one dump per hour, which is low. So the dump cycle.
these are designed for high cycle rate. I mean,
Right.
the other question I have then, because it sounds like you guys are on top of it, and I would have expected you to be, and I have no familiarity with this, other than I do know we're still facing really tight supply chain issues where we work. And then when you look deer and cat, I mean, they're relatively available. Scania? That motor?
Yeah, it's a European engine. it's used a lot in the shipping industry. It's a very, I did some research on it, it's a very heavy-duty motor, and that was Rico's question, is they can get parts for it.
Because you'd hate to have $150,000 paperweight.
But T-Rex is still in operation,
Okay.
they're an operable company, so.
I was actually at a sand mine in Texas, Pioneer, or the predecessor company, and they ran a fleet of Terex. They're a good
Cool.
trucks.
That's my understanding too.
But
They're into the heavy off-road vehicles.
that's the only question that I have.
And Mr. Mayor, if I can just fill in one other piece of context, when we met with them by phone, there's actually another interested buyer, so we deposited right away.
Oh, good.
Now, had they sold it to that other buyer, they said the owners had raised the price by, what, $20,000?
Correct.
So they were already looking at raising the price, but since we jumped on it first, they locked in that price for us.
The only question I have is, the current owner, I know that like the city and a lot of businesses and by states, in the state of Colorado, you're supposed to keep a maintenance log. Do they have a maintenance log of what they've done?
I asked Buck if that was available, and the seller is going back to the ranch and seeing if those logs are available. We were able to obtain a lot of that information with our computer, because everything on these newer vehicles, you plug in and it tells you different things and whatnot.
I guess one way to,
Electronically.
if we move forward with this is to ask who did their maintenance for it, because I'm sure that the ranch themselves, they probably didn't do the maintenance portion of it or any fixing, so whoever they use to repair it might have those logs, send out those logs too. But
Sure.
maybe an additional information that you can use if it's available.
I have a question. Where is it located now?
Guthrie, Oklahoma.
How are we getting it here?
We are
Very long drive.
we're
What
looking
did you
at
say?
getting transport figures from 3 or 4 different companies.
Okay.
So it is oversized, so I'll have to get the oversized DOT
Yeah.
permits. So we've asked them locally, and then we talked to the company, and they have a hauler too.
Okay.
But yeah, it needs to be,
If, like I said, it's got 40-some hundred hours on there, how long do you, if anything, if it's a good vehicle for long term, how many hours do you anticipate that you can put on a vehicle like this?
like I said, we were looking at some, because we started out at the $100,000 range, and those were up around 15 to 20,000 hours. So I think this vehicle has a long capacity, a long life in front of it.
How many hours do we put on our vehicles on ours per year right now?
That's a good question. I think this will probably be used once a week. So if you take it, 52 times 8, you're looking at not a whole lot of hours a year.
So 400 hours a year.
Yeah.
Is it possible to get that log before we make a purchase?
Pardon me?
Is it possible to get that log?
Maintenance schedule?
Yeah.
We'll certainly.
We certainly see if we can find that. I did ask for it the other day, and
Hydraulic repairs have done on the.
And I think if they can't provide it, I guess it's, crapshoot whether to move forward with it, if that's the case.
So, but
As is.
we're making the decision tonight, are we not?
Right,
We are.
we are.
Yeah, I would
It'd
say,
be nice to have the information.
with the due diligence you've done, I think, it's my opinion, we should move forward.
So with that, entertain a motion.
Oh, and one more piece, sorry, Mayor, to interrupt. Just one more piece of context. I just wanted to point out that by not having an operating truck right now to cover the landfill, we're actually paying for dirt. And what's that figure look like, Bob?
last time we hired a company to haul dirt for us, it was right around $10,000.
Wow.
So it adds up pretty quick.
It does. So we're paying money by not having that truck as
Is
well.
that 10,000 like a month or
Oh, it probably get us, it got us about 2 months worth of dirt.
still that we're long term?
Right.
Yeah.
So move, make a motion. Make a motion. I got it.
I make a motion that we, award the bid, for the Terex, and I'll vote on it tonight.
Second.
Second.
Any other discussion? Call vote, please.
DeBona?
Yes.
Griego,
Yes.
Ogletree. Yes. Shu,
Yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Rico.
Yes. Item 2, the
Thank you.
executive session, thank you, Ron. For a conflict with the city's attorney for the purpose of receiving legal advice on specific legal questions under CRS section 24-6-402, 4B, and or for discussion of specialized details of security arrangements or investigations under CRS section 24-6-402, 4B, City Hall security. Motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Second. Okay. Call roll, please.
DeBono,
Yes.
Griego,
Yes.
Ogletree. Yes. Shu,
Yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Rico.